Cyrus is the best.
Thank you.
The ACLU do recognize nobody on my team, especially me, is afraid of any of you. So we're prepared for a fight, and that includes going after the government when they engage in these types of actions.
Buenas noches todos, me llamo Brenda Zamora, soy la vicepresidente del condado de Clark County. Gracias, pregunta, ¿va a traducir usted en inglés para ellos o no más sigo? Hello everyone, my name is Brenda Zamora, I'm the vice president of the Clark County School Board of Trustees. Thank you everyone for being here today. I am thankful to ACLU and the commissioner for inviting me to sit here and just go over the resolution we have. Les doy las gracias. English, sorry, this is hard.
Come on.
I'm thankful to them because we have heard a lot in the community that there's a fear of our children attending schools. I am here talking for Clark County, not the charter schools, but it really much is the same.
All right, everybody. So we wanted to do some updates on this event about Tick Segerblom. You could see right here. Now, Tick is a pretty sincere man. All the people I spoke to, we had a great conversation. But then again, the question is this fair? Should we have a process? Should we have a limit? Many argue this violates federal codes. This puts American citizens, especially homeless, under the bus. Our taxes are paying for this. And of course, the question is, do the taxes that these unlawful migrants or unauthorized immigrants, whatever you want to call them, does it actually have a good benefit? You look at the impact on wages, remittances, and of course, remember, their children are American citizens, and they get benefits. That's a fact. Reid talked about this. And of course, the question is, did they talk about, well, the other side talks about gangs. Is the threat is real? Do you guys think that's the case? There's also impacts on housing, schools. Look at the ranking. And more importantly, what concerns me is, again, we've had a lot of corrupt politicians. You go back to Reid, go back to the big money donors of MGM, the Culinary, all this stuff plays a huge role in this. Think about it, but they keep highlighting diversity. Well, we know what that means.
I'm going to give her a break. All right. A few days ago, the district shared a resolution that the board adopted in 2017, which shows our commitment to supporting all students no matter their immigration status. Even though President Trump reversed a policy that stopped immigration officers from arresting people in sensitive places like school, churches, and hospitals, that does not mean that ICE can enter a school anytime they want. Schools, like other private or public properties, are protected by the Fourth Amendment, which prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures. This means immigration officers, including ICE, cannot enter our schools without a warrant, an emergency, or without permission from school officials. The 2017 resolution and the district statement a few days ago reinforces that our schools are safe places for everyone. That's everyone, staff, students, everyone. Our students' privacy is very important. The district will not share students' immigration information unless a court orders it. School police will not assist ICE unless required by a court order. This means that unless there is a legal order from a judge, school police cannot work with ICE or any other immigration enforcement agency. Our goal is to ensure that students feel comfortable and secure while attending school, no matter their background.
Finally, as Commissioner Segerblom mentioned, the officers that you see here tonight are Clark County Police. That's to protect against threats of people who are making threats against everyone that's attempting to protect immigrants. In this particular era, those are not ICE officials. Believe me, if there were ICE officials here, we wouldn't be doing that type of event. We would have already requested a warrant.
That this can be found on our website. You can access it at any time. We do update it very frequently. But some of the key takeaways, if anything, that you should remember is those key rights that you have, which is the right to remain silent, the right to refuse consent to search, and the right to speak to an attorney.
Yo sé que ha sido mucha información la que les hemos dado, pero recuerden que siempre está en nuestra página.
So what I want to talk about today is what rights do you have or does an individual have after they've been detained by ICE? And I also want to talk about what things to consider and how to have a good plan moving forward with your loved ones in the event that a detention does occur. So even though the current administration would like you to think that you can be picked up and immediately deported, that's not the case for most people. Most individuals who will come in contact with ICE and be detained will have some type of relief, but you must follow these important steps in order to secure your rights to see an immigration judge and possibly obtain a bond for your release. So while there have been priorities set that indicate that ICE is supposed to look for the most important people, such as people with criminal convictions, who have domestic violence, a DUI, or prior deportation orders, as Atar mentioned, about 50% of those who have been detained do not have any kind of criminal history or negative immigration history. So what happens once you are detained? The first step that ICE will do is they will process that individual. They will take their fingerprints, they will take their photograph, and usually hold them in a detention center. So there are several detention centers here in Nevada. One of them is located in Henderson, at the Henderson Detention Center, and the other ones are currently located in Pahrump, Nevada.
The left-hand side, just what we discussed, would be a judicial warrant. So at the top, you see that it says United States District Court, and at the very bottom, it's signed by a judge. And then you will also see that it has a date on there, as well as the address of the place to be searched or the person that they are seeking. And then the one on the right is an administrative warrant. This one specifically is a warrant for removal. And as you see, it does have U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. There it says immigration officer at the bottom. That is not a federal or state judge. They are technically called immigration judges, but it is an immigration officer that will be listed at the bottom. If they have a judicial warrant, they can enter your home without your consent.